Okay. We are live. And in today's live stream, it's a bit of a challenge. I'm drawing or sketching, I should be precise. I'm sketching these two people here, these dancers from the 1940s. They look like if they're having a lot of fun, so I'm gonna try to capture that pose, that liveliness. I hope everyone enjoyed the last live stream with drawing hands, which I did fix, by the way. Let me see if I could show you. There, see, I did this one immediately after I finished the live because I wasn't happy with how this one looked. So I did this one. So yeah, now I feel much better. So the first thing that I'm going to do before starting off this sketch is I'm going to explain a little bit about how I'm gonna go, like how my thought process is gonna go. And when looking at these poses here, I tend to there's two things I pay attention to, right? I pay attention to the pose, right? And I also pay attention to the shape. So it's three things actually: pose, shape, and the volume. And when you think of volume, it's basically thinking in 3D. Okay? And this is very important when it comes to sketching people, because we are not just 2D shapes, we are 3D shapes, right? Our bodies, we have volume to it. We are dynamic and we are expressive. Okay? So the pose, I'm gonna start with the torso, right? So let's say, for example, and if you have your drawing tablet, you could follow along too. And basically, I'm going to do a quick sketch over and just to trace over what I see here in a very simple way. So like I said, everything is a shape, right? So I start off with the torso, right? It's basically square here. Let me not try to complicate things too much. So basically, I see a square here. I see this curve shape here. The outline of his pants. And I'm trying to pay attention more to the clothing rather than the background, like what their body shapes look like. But you're just trying to get an understanding of what you're about to draw before you actually draw it. At least for me. So if I was a beginner artist, this is how I would basically get started with this particular sketch, right? And you could already see that it's two people, right? And they are in a, like, one person has their arm up and the other person has, oh, no hands, but you have an idea as to where you're gonna go from here, right? And you could continue forward. And this is all just for practice, right? Like, it's not supposed to look good in any way. It's just a sketch, right? Now that's what I would do if I was a beginner artist. I would simply just trace and try to visualize shapes, and I would try to study the volume, right? So I tried at the beginning, right, of, at least for the guy, right, there is a 3D shape going on here, right, because he's kind of bending down like that. And same thing for her, right? Okay. So that's what I would do if I was at the very, very beginning of my sketching, my drawing lesson, or journey, I should say. If you're a bit more, if you have more experience, like myself, this is what I would basically do. Now, I'm not perfect at any way. Like, I am sketching live, so I have a bit of pressure to not make any mistakes. And with that, I probably will make a lot of mistakes. So bear with me, and I will try my best to get through this. So I will start with the female, with our female dancer here. Starting off with the torso. Now, they have a lot of clothes on, so what I'm trying to do now, like my thought process, is to try to visualize how her body shape looks underneath her clothes. That's all I'm trying to do as of right now. Now, would it help? Yes. Because you guys have to see that I do understand the fundamentals. One thing about using reference pictures like this is that they don't have to be completely exactly like what you see. You're just using it as a guide at this point. Understand that your reference, you're not trying to copy, right? That's why it's called a reference. You're trying to just get the pose and understanding the volume and the shape, and you should be good to go. It's part of studying, okay? And okay, her feet are really big, unless I drew her legs really tiny. So let's try to thicken that up a bit. Okay, and I'm also measuring too, all right? So you could see this area here. I'm measuring here, like the distance, like where this edge of her foot touches the other side. So it touches just at the top of her other shoe, her right shoe. And if it doesn't match exactly, it's fine, because like I said before, it doesn't have to be completely, you know, the same. So I'm just try to do what you can and make it look as best as you can. Okay. So there we go. We got her bottom half. I'm not gonna worry too much about, like, you know, the details here, because it's gonna be covered by the dress anyway, which we will do after. So let's cover her shoulders. Shoulders, neck, and head, to be specific. I think you may have to go either make her have a thinner neck or a wider shoulder bridge, but let's see. She is laughing really hot, like she's smiling very brightly, so okay. And yeah, I think her shoulder has to go out a little bit more, so we adjust. Yep. Okay, so here's another thing too. So I'm looking at this area here, right? I'm paying attention to where her wrist is in line with her neck, right? So you have to be aware of where these things align. Otherwise, you'll have a disproportionate pose, okay? So the top of her wrist, let's say just at the edge, is where her is like in line with her neck, maybe even her shoulder a bit, right? Because it goes a little bit so. Okay, and then her arm is a bit out. I think I drew her wrist a bit too small, but. And we did hands last week, so let's see how well I do this time. Hands are easy, okay? Hands are easy. Haha. Let's move that over a lot. Another hand. Gosh, we have a lot of hands to draw. There. Let's move that down. Good. Oops. All right. So how long did that take me? $10. I do think I should bring this leg up just a little bit. Okay. Now for the dude. I think the dude will be the dude. The man, the male dancer, he has a bit of a boxy shape, which makes it a bit easier, but also you have to be careful. No, he's really bent. He's really bent. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to almost make his leg come out as a curve and then just work around it. Now, one thing to know about a leg that's pointing out like this, remember it is a 3D shape. Okay? But not just any 3D shape, it is organic. Okay? So maybe have more of a circular look to it. Like that. And then make here come out. Like that. Right here would be the center where the kneecap is, and then your thighs, the thigh would go out like so. I hope that makes sense, but let's give it a try. This is gonna take me a couple of tries until I get it right. Maybe. And then his foot is just flat out like this. Okay, something about that looks really off, but I think I may have time to draw the clothes over top of it eventually. So let's make sure that this is measured properly. So let's move this part down just a little bit. We're definitely going to be working on clothing later on. Cool. Now let's measure. Okay. Oh, we need to establish a ground. Okay, there's our floor. There's our ground. Let me just name that ground. Okay. And we'll call this female. And we'll call this one male. Hi from India. Hello. Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm just powering through this sketch here. as best as I can. Okay. He's not that much tall. I think it's because I did this a bit too... I did him too tall. He's not that much taller than her. I think maybe his torso might be a bit too high up, but we'll work with it. So let's zoom back in. I want to learn design software. Oh. It's very interesting. Okay, let me see if I can draw his face here. And his shoulders kind of slouch a bit. Another hand. All right. Y'all ready to master another hand? 'Cause I am. Okay. His hand is spread out. So one, two, three. We'll see about his hand afterwards. I could tell this one is gonna be even longer than the others before, so could just bear with me for a little bit longer. Okay, I will leave that as is. Can you make a logo design? Right now, I'm sketching. A logo design is a completely different where should I put it? It's a completely different task. A different realm. That's like in the graphic design, motion design kind of stuff. I do that as a living, but I'm not doing that here on my YouTube channel. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me as I'm struggling with this arm. The struggle is real. After I just practiced hands last week. So your name is Nyx or Ruby. What am I making? I am sketching this based on this reference picture right here. 2 people dancing and having fun. That's what I'm drawing. Is this the 90s? No, this is the 1940s. 1940s was legit. I think they had the best dances at that time. Nobody dances like this anymore. I wish dances were like this. I would actually go to dances if they were like this. You have to be really fit. Otherwise, if I were to do a dance like this right now, I would probably break a muscle, break a bone or something. No, this is not for a business. This is just me practicing. I mean, it could be used for a business, who knows? Which software are you using? I am in Krita. Are y'all ready for hand number 4? Hand number 4, let's go. Oh, I think we're getting somewhere. Perfect. I think that's good. Okay. At least for the sketch, that is. This is basically what I used to do all throughout the year last year, because I wanted to get better at drawing people. So I used to practice drawing people like this and try to visualize what their pose would be like underneath their clothing. So that I could have a better understanding as to how the body moves and functions. So let me see if I could understand here. The rib cage is basically attested to see the volume of an individual, because the rib cage is basically the good instead of boxes, you could see the rib cage, which can help with your 3D and help visualize the angle of where the person is looking, right? So in this case, his back is a little bit more straight like this. Yes, hands are very hard to draw, but so is drawing the human figure, so is drawing backgrounds, so is doing logos, so is making websites, so is drawing legs and arms and faces. Art in general is hard, not just hands. Okay? Try to tell my students this all the time. Don't follow what everyone else says about hands until you've actually done it yourself. Okay, let's see how this looks. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, maybe I could have avoided drawing the rib cage, but what I wanted to show was that how the rib cage helps develop the volume and the shape of an individual. So in other words, the skin, it's molded over the rib cage. Right? So when you breathe in and breathe out, you could feel, and you put your hands over your rib cage, you could feel your rib cage when you breathe in, and you could feel it, right? And your stomach sucks in, right? Your whole body is like enveloped over your rib cage, especially your torso. Actually, your torso is the one that is being defined by the shape of your rib cage. Okay, I think this is a good start. I think we could get started with the clothing. Wow, I just looked over and there's so many messages. Okay, wait, hold on. Are you famous? I don't know how to answer that question. Where are you from? Trinidad and Tobago? Do you have an OC? OC stands for original character, right? No, I do not. Actually, yes, I do. I have several, but I don't post them because they are still in development. Okay, I just looked away. Okay, so y'all go ahead and have your conversation. I'm gonna continue. Put some clothes on everybody. We are almost at an hour. Okay, so let's just get started. There are a lot of folds. A lot of folds in both of their clothing, actually. So this is why I thought that this would be a great challenge. And you learn to improvise too. I drew the angle wrong initially, so I'm just fixing that. Okay, I knew something seemed off. Okay, so her knee initially is more down, I should say. Or did I just draw it a bit too far down? I think I did. I think I drew it a bit too far down. Yes. Can you share some information about yourself? My name is Crystal. I'm an artist. I do 3D modeling, animation, and sketching. Yay. I think I fixed it. I'm enjoying this process. It's good. A lot of creases, but the key is when it comes to, you know, clothes like this is to go simple. Go simple. Don't try to like overdo it just yet until you get the overall look done. Okay, here we go. Whew. This is turning out to be just fine. Okay, so now it's basically a tracing game. You know, tracing over your own work, so to speak. Yep. Her socks, for me, I'm gonna make her socks higher because I think it would look cooler. And draw the little folds here. I don't like those folds, so I'm gonna erase them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it away, like keep the canvas away from me, and draw from there. The further something is, you know, when you're drawing it, sometimes it looks better from afar when you draw it from afar, right? So it's good to step away and zoom out, right? Don't be so like, don't zoom into your drawing like this, you know, because you'll be so fixated on the details, and then when you zoom out, it won't look good. So zoom out if you can. We do that for painting too. It's good to look at it from a distance. Okay, now I'm gonna draw the other leg. These are some interesting shoes. It really is from the 1940s. Hey, commenter. Oh, Instagram. Check my description box. It's there. Please don't spam my comments section. Okay, and I'm gonna make, just for fun, I'm gonna make this sock here shorter, and I'm going to zoom out again, and I'm gonna make the rolls even more detailed on this one, because the sock had gone all the way down, so I want to indicate that by showing more rolls. Oops. Okay, something that looks a bit messy, but phew. All right. Yay. Okay. Right. Let's continue. How old are you? Huh. Like if I'm gonna say that live on my YouTube channel. Nope. There's this fold. This is coming along good. I just have to move a bit faster so I can end the live. I don't want to spend longer than I should. If you have any questions about my art that I'm drawing right now, please ask. Anything else about logos or digital marketing or any other of that stuff, I'm sorry, I am the wrong person to ask. I think she has like some frills on her shirt. Seems like it. Face is basically going to remain the same. Like, I'm not going to be adding anything different. Just going to be drawing the hair and the curls. And that's about it. And then, oh man. Okay. All right. I think that's good. Now for the folds, so remember what I said, you have to go as simple as possible. And try not to go like, don't do every line that represents the fold, right? Do as much as you can without making it look too cluttered, okay? And I just noticed I have to move him more to the side, but you know what? He's good in that place. That's fine. Now the hands that are easy to do. Hands that are easy to do. Okay. Let me just try to improvise here. Okay, I think that's good. I think I did good. Remember what I said about not zooming in too much? Okay, and I think she has a necklace on, but we won't bother with that for now. Okay, and now let's zoom out. Yay! Okay. So, gosh, this is taking a lot longer than I anticipated. But I hope you all are learning something. Hand number 2. I'm doing it slightly different from the rough sketch because I noticed that her hand is a bit out more, so there. That's good. Let's move on to our male dancer. Did I do that high enough? I'm trying to move as quickly as possible so I can end this live. This is what happens when I take my time and I'm not too much in a rush. Most of my lives are half an hour to 40 minutes. This is the first extended one that I'm doing. Is he wearing a belt? I think he is. Just noticed that his feet, it's a little bit higher than I anticipated, so now let's zoom out again and see if that makes sense. Yeah, it's okay. Again, I'm measuring to see like how high the edge of his pants on his left leg, how far away it is and how high up from her left shoe it ends. So, but again, all this is up to the artist, and it's your choice as to where you want to go from here. Okay. How much more time? Okay, maybe 15 more minutes. We'll see how we look in 15 more minutes. There's this weird curve thingy here. I don't know if I'm gonna draw that, or maybe I will. Let's see. Does that look weird? Let's see. Yeah, it looks kind of weird, so maybe we will leave it out. Now this alone just looks weird, so I kind of liked how I had it before. Alright, hands. Let's see what we can do about these hands again. We could. this hand here is on an angle, so that's why it's giving me problems. Yep, I think that's good. Good enough. This hand I actually liked, so I'm just gonna trace over that. Whew. My goodness. Okay. Maybe I'll make the middle finger a bit longer and then call that a day for this hand. Oh, it's bigger than the other one, so let me make the other one bigger. Okay. Finally, the head, which I liked, so I'm just gonna trace over that from the original rough sketch. His face is completely to the side. So maybe I'll draw his ear here, and his hair. I think this was a good challenge. It definitely made me think more about what I do before I do it. I'm very pleased with how it looks. You know, even though that, you know, I'm not going into any details specifically regarding, you know, the face. I might finish it off, but off of the live. I might do some facial expressions and maybe color it and maybe add some more detail to make it look a bit better. But I think I'm gonna call it a day, and I'm very pleased with how this looks. And yep, that's about it. So let me just save that, and maybe I'll add more details to it, and then I'll post that on my Instagram. So if you like this video, please like it and comment, and completely ignore those two fools that were in the comment section. Like, they were just there for spam. I knew they were spam. I was just entertaining them a bit. So I hope you guys like it, and I will see you in the next live stream. Okay? Take care. Bye.